Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So I moved from the Costa del Sol up to the Costa Blanca just outside of Alicante in the city of Benidorm. So I'll cover a few reasons of why we made the move up to the Costa Blanca. It's a few degrees cooler than the Costa del Sol, and the landscape's kind of like a more arid, not as tropical, and it's been ranked as one of the best climates to live in by the World Health Organization. So another reason we moved up to Benidorm is your money goes a lot further in purchasing and in rentals. We just secured a 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath, newly reformed apartment. Has a full dining room, full living room, North American style kitchen, and a laundry room, which is almost unheard of around here. And then in a few years, we're gonna look to buy, and there's some beautiful areas around the Costa Blanca, Torrevieja, Elche, Altea, or we might just end up buying in Benidorm also. But we were really lucky to get a place with a big terrace and a lot of space, which we couldn't find down in Fuengirola. They do exist. Some of them are only to buy, and we're not ready to buy yet. Like I said in my previous videos, if you're moving over, maybe rent for a year or two, because we've already moved. So Benidorm is a fantastic place, and your money goes so much further. And down in the new town, you will find so much entertainment. It is amazing. And that's one of the major reasons we like to get out and go see shows and stuff. And stuff actually starts a bit earlier here, we find, up on the Costa Blanca. The shows will start around 8 or 9. There's all kinds of tribute acts like Pink and Michael Jackson, and you name it, Elvis, of course. And there's amazing comedians up here, and there's no charge to get into these shows. You basically just buy a drink, take a seat. You can stay there as long as you want. We hop around, and it's super safe. We just really enjoy the entertainment district up here in Benidorm. So another thing that we really like, which may seem a bit strange, is the size of the streets here. They're much, much wider compared to down in the south. They're really cramped, and the sidewalks to go with that. So the sidewalks are pretty much double, if not triple, depending on where you're at. Like if you're on Avenida Mediterraneo, it's basically a pedestrian street. It's one way for traffic, and they can only go 10 kilometers an hour. So it's loaded with people at all hours of the day. Tons and tons to do there, and it's so much easier to get around on these wide streets. And if you live down in Fuengirola, you will notice dog shit everywhere. And that's not to take away from the municipal cleaners. They are amazing. They kept the place super clean, but the pet owners for some reason are reluctant to pick up the dog shit. And up here, that is not an issue. In the Costa Blanca and in Benidorm, there is no dog shit on any of the sidewalks. I know it's weird, but it was really kind of eye-opening when it's such a beautiful place, and then there's just dog shit everywhere. And up here, it is not an issue at all. So another major factor for moving up to the Costa Blanca, and specifically Benidorm, is your dining experiences. Now, the restaurants on the Costa del Sol, don't get me wrong, they are amazing. The issue is you're constantly bombarded with people trying to sell you stuff if you're in basically anywhere near the promenade or the port. That does not happen up here. We've been all through Levante, Poniente, the old town, and you do not get hassled with trying to buy. It's like little trinkets and stuff, but it's really, really irritating when it's every 5 minutes. It is not an issue up here. So another tick in the Benidorm box was the mix of old and new. It's a fantastic place, actually. You have the old town, which has all the Spanish charm, the churches, the Balcón de Mediterráneo. It's beautiful. Then you can go down towards the new town. That's where you find most of the British tourists. So there's a lot of nightlife. That's where all the shows are at. Fantastic place. And then if you go over to the Poniente side, it's, I'm gonna say it's more suburban-like, family-oriented. And then you can even go down towards La Cala and then up into Finistrat, which is literally like the suburbs. Beautiful shopping area up there. Big, massive Carrefour, massive mall, and all the big box stores. So it's a great mix. Of course, you have Tapas Alley, which is fantastic down in the old town. So it's a really nice blend of old, new. It kind of feels in some parts of almost like North America, and then you walk a couple streets and you're back in Old Town Spain. So really, really nice mix. So Benidorm is known as one of the hotspot British holiday destinations, and with that comes a large group of expats here, English speaking, of course. Now we're still on our Spanish language journey. We're becoming more and more fluent every day, but it is nice that the town is, I'd say, a little more bilingual up here. Like, we went and did our town hall appointment to get our pad drawn. Pretty much everybody was bilingual. Of course, we always try to speak in Spanish first, but even when you go into the town hall, the directories are all bilingual. It's, you know, the Brits have a foundation here for decades and decades, and it shows. And it's kind of a nice little mix. So we are in our late 40s and early 50s, and we find Benidorm to be much more lively than Fuengirola. Fuengirola is a wonderful place to have a cocktail or a glass of wine on the beach, but it's more kind of a slower pace. Fantastic maybe if you're a little older, but I'm only 46 now, and I find Benidorm much more appealing to my age group. Things open earlier, things stay open later, and I find there's more expats in our age range up here. So another big difference we found up here is your wait times for appointments. So down on the Costa del Sol in Malaga province, when I was waiting to get my pad drawn booked, it took like 3 or 4 weeks just to get an appointment. Here, I literally just emailed over to the town hall. They sent me the booking link, and I was in within like 3 days. And the pad drawn appointment, I was in and out within probably 20 minutes. It's so fast. And same, we had to go do some banking. And to get an appointment down in the Malaga region I was at Santander, it took, again, about 3 to 4 weeks to get in for an appointment. Here, same day. I had about a half an hour wait, and then I was in to see a personal banker. All right, so of course, one of the major draws anywhere you're gonna move to in Spain along the coast is the beaches. And the beaches down in Malaga on the Costa del Sol are amazing. They have some fantastic beaches up here. There's a few differences though. The major one I would say is there's no chiringuitos here up in Benidorm. Now there is lots of restaurants and bars along the promenade, but you won't find chiringuitos on the beach like down in Fuengirola. The other difference is the beach is broken into 2 sections. You have Levante and Poniente. Poniente is kind of a slower pace, more family-oriented, suburban, kind of ice cream parlor, restaurant vibe. You go down to the Levante side, you'll find a lot more tourists, live music throughout the day, not just at night, a much more party vibe. You know, people are having a good time. So it's a very different vibe from Fuengirola and Malaga in general. And another benefit of moving up to Benidorm is the proximity to other cities. So Valencia is only about an hour and a half by car. You have Barcelona's about 4.5, Madrid I think is about 4.5, and Alicante is about 35 minutes down the road. And Alicante has a massive airport, and you can also get on the trains there. You can literally fly anywhere in Europe out of Alicante, similar to Malaga, but having Valencia just an hour and a half up the road is kind of a huge perk. And there's some other built up towns around. There's a lot of attractions here too. That was the other thing. There's a zoo, there's a water park, there's a huge amusement park here, and so much more. We still got to find out everything that's in this city, but there's a lot more going on up here. So wherever you're going to move is probably going to be amazing in Spain. You got to move to where you think is going to be the best fit. The Costa del Sol is fantastic. I would highly recommend it, especially if you're pushing 60 or over 60. We kind of like the vibe up here in the Alicante region. It feels a bit more younger and a bit more fresh, but both places are fantastic, really. Come on, it's Spain. So, I mean, you really can't go wrong. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you in the next one soon.